Everybody say,
Good morning, baby Viara, or good afternoon and good evening, depending on the location in which you are. Se moja edri fusani na tekremada abodwemu a na adom otwede ampon adom a ɔde akyɛ yɛn na ɛnɛ nso ɔde nkwa akyɛ yɛn sɛ yɛmfa saa dwumadie mbra makwan. Ɛnɛ nso adom ne nti no BWF Solicitors asɔre efiri ɔmo dwom sɛ ɛnɛ nneɛma a ɛkokɔ ɔkɔ so wɔ yɛ abrabɔ mu ɛwɔ kurom ha ne afaanafaan no nyinaa no ɔmo de ba abɛto dwa na yɛmpɛ biribi nwom yɛmpɛ nsɛmpɛnsɛmu na yɛmfa nea ɛbɛboa yɛn ɛwɔ mu. Enti mɛsrɛ wo sɛ woaba so a bɔ mmɔden a na kyekyɛ na ɔdɔfoɔ bi nso ɛnyɛ bi na ɔntie. BWF Solicitors yɛkyerɛ kwan ɛnyɛ yɛrɛ kwan koraa. Sɛ wohwehwɛ yɛn a yɛwɔ BWF Solicitors building no mu a ɛwɔ Anna House ɛwɔ Seven Sisters Tube Station ne pɛpɛɛpɛ. Wodu hɔ nom a wobɛhu abansoro bi wɔ hɔ. Bɔ mmɔden a na bɔre mu. Na ɛnɛ adwumadi a yɛde ba no ɛnam sɛ friada biara yɛba with different topic ɛnɛ nso yɛasan akɔfɛ bi a ɛmo ɔhwam ɛmo ɔdɛ ɛbɛboa yɛn nyinaa titiriw yɛn a yɛwɔ kurom ha ɛyɛ UK abɔnten so. Na mɛsrɛ sɛ bɔ mmɔden a na ka yɛn ho fiti sesebere a up to 11 na wobɛnya wo kyɛfa ɛwɔ mu. Metwa me ho kakra aba na meba a na yɛde dwumadie no atoa so.
Yɛyɛ fɛma yɛwɔ London. Yɛagye abasobɔdeɛ bebree na yɛaredare ɛwɔ mmaransɛm mu. Ɛyɛ legal services bi te sɛ family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, and family law. Wɔ BWF deɛ yɛn solicitors ɛde anigyeɛ ɛna etwitwa gye woɔ na yɛboɔ nso nyɛ den koraa. Yɛn partner panin paa Bennard Owusu ayɛ lawyer ɛwɔ UK man mu bɛburu mfie 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura wɔn ho nti sɛ ɛba na ebusuansɛm bi te sɛ child care ɛyɛ abɔfra hwɛ mu awaregya yɛ ho twema mentwe ɛne ɔhyɛ anaa injunction a yɛde to domestic violence so a yɛmma wo legal assistance a ɛdi mu na yie adwuma nso. Yɛn child care ɛne family team no nim nea wofa mu ɛwɔ nea yɛwɔ bere yi mu. Ɛno nti na yɛto yɛn bo ase ma wafoto a ɛsɛ fata ɛwɔ kokoa mu. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agyina to mu na ɔsan so yɛ member na kyerɛ sɛ ɛba no sɛ yɛgyina w'akyi ɛretwitwa agye wo ɛwɔ family ɛne matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw koraa. Wopɛ advice ɛwɔ immigration nsɛnsɛm ho. Wɔ BWF Solicitors deɛ yɛn immigration team no abredare ɛwɔ general immigration ho nsɛmsɛm kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho ntotoyɛ ɛne entry clearance visas, family visas ne appeals. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ member na wasan gyina tom ɛwɔ Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Nti sɛ yɛtae w'akyi a wonni haw koraa. Yɛbie yɛn office free dwada ekosi fiada anɔpa nɔnkron pɛ mu ekosi enumere nonsia ɛyɛ 9:30 AM kosi 6 PM ɛna memeneda nso ɛyɛ appointment nkoa free anɔpa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 ɛyɛ 10 AM kosi 4 PM. Yɛwɔ 4th floor ɛwɔ Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sɛ wo nante free Seven Sisters Underground nso a ɛyɛ kwan tiaa bi. Yɛn senior partner Bennard Owusu san yɛ barrister yɛagyina to mu na ɔyɛ Ghana Bar Association member ɛna wasan gyina sɛ mmaranimfoɔ ɛwɔ court cases a ɛfa Ghana law ho. Wɔ advise local authorities, official solicitors office ne solicitors bebree ɛfa Ghanaian law ho yie na ɔsan yɛ obi a ɔtae kasa ɛwɔ radio ɛne TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.
Yo, Madam Wasibium said, Memamu bia akwaba eba dwumadie so. And then so fiada the last day of September. Na megide say September no enu ye nyina edi ni yie. Enti asedan kwa na de bema otwede ampon. yɛbɛhyɛ yɛ ase medi kan aba mo nka yɛ ketewa bi ne sɛ kurom ha yɛn nyinaa yɛnim yɛn 20 pounds ne yɛn 50 pounds a ɛwɔ system ɛyɛ tetedeɛ no anaa dada no a yɛdi no ɛnɛ ɛyɛ last day a aban no de ama yɛn nti sɛ obi biara a ɔretie yɛ menim sɛ dodoɔ no anya mbaa so deɛ ba sɛ woretie yɛ a bɔ obi nka yɛ sɛ ɔwɔ bi da hɔ a ɔmbɔ mmɔden na ɔmfa nkɔ back because after ɛnɛ no obi bia entumi enyusu saa sika yi ɛyɛ 50 pounds ɛne 20 pounds old note no obi entumi enyusu bio medam ase sɛ ma etie saa kasa yi a mede abetu dwa yi yo yɛbɛkɔ yɛnim ɛne sɛ mmerɛ bebree mmerɛ tiawa biara anaasɛ mmerɛ a ɛrekɔ yɛnim yi a nneɛma a ɛfefafa yɛ abrabɔ ho yi everyday biara foforɔ de ba na ɛyɛ ana yɛde yɛn ho tututu dwa sɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛ establish immigration nsɛm mabrabɔ mu nsɛm menya nkrataa mpo nneɛma a mefifa afa mu menya nso nneɛma a ɔsɛ mefa mu obi wɔ hɔ a ɔba ɔno ɔyɛ single person opagya ne bag ɛfiri Ghana de ba kurom ha na afei waba kurom ha no nso no wobɛhu a na wabɛnya ne dɔfo bi na afei wanya ne dɔfo bi na ɔbɛpere sɛ wobɛnya nkrataa a ɔde bɛtena kurom ha ayɛ adwuma na wetumi ɔno nso ayɛ yie wɔ kurom ha na obenya nkrataa nso afei na ɛbɛba ne sɛ ɔpɛ baabi ɔne ne kunu anaa bia no ma start family na ɔmo establish ɔmo ho na neɛteɛ ne sɛ kurom ha no there are few ways a wobɛtumi establish mbia wobɛtumi atɔ property mbia wobɛtumi arenti property privately anaasɛ mbi mpo a na bɔre a wowɔ mu no council na ɛhwɛ saa bɔre no so wobɛtumi nso anya dan ɛfiri saa council no nti ɛnɛ yɛba bɛpɛnsɛmpɛnsɛm na ansa na mɛhyɛ da koraa introduce ade pɔteɛ na yɛba bɛka ho no mɛsrɛ na me resource person and the paymo himself, Uncle Ben. Na only and baby this age you may over the church and emo, Memman din chia kessie and atene ama etie for ni ashafoni nara na uria a femi the main sema me wa a fast side you may dear baby dihun, not ma be se bisana na you to me up with him. Na me sabo monkaya said, Miss Sermony de Mumbasu for fair fee, Mamon Quamon chemfa, Mumbo modiana mon chiche, na ubi enso enyebi, Monko Facebook neso, na mon share, Monko YouTube neso, na mon share, all the medias na ye wono, mon share, Mutie yenso ewo BW Radio no ubenya, mbia na went to me and show Facebook and I say YouTube na, ko BW Radio. Ko garden radio garden and I say yes radio garden so na modern Ghana na type BW radio ubenya yen wo hono na wetie yen pepepe oti ukam na wo na utie saa na ye no saa nso na BW communications platforms nso no nyina ye wo ho saa nso na ye nua abawa radio omonso oma piki saa dwumedie na omutie sisi a ewo omo radio no so nti mesre won so beka ho na cheche na obi nso enye bi enhwe to you mekoso mema Uncle Ben a very good morning to you Uncle Ben patro mema ho kwan na fa atene kese ema etiefo na hwefo na afi memfa mensem bisa no embetudwa medas.
Hello, good morning manyati na to say
Adom nkora papa patro me ho ye na wonso
ye the radiase ye chia etiefo ane wona wabeka ya ho titru mo ade bia mo beka ya ho ehye mo like na mo comment ye da mo nyina ase se mo koso abeka ya ho anapenso ye da nyame ase se ode ye nkwa ache ye wa ma ya ho den tumi ane nkwa ye timi ane mo abetena ha. Now I'm say for some weeks by a couple of months BWF Solicitors laser focused on the current economic situation him say near sheda nkoye near boy den enti yaka say na obetimi anye sika bi say wo ho kyerewa say na obetimi aye free application say wo ho kyerewa say na obetimi atọ dan mortgages say wo sika ana eneno ye focus on sana obetimi enya council flat and social housing sabio and no cost no very very cheap and to say the private accommodation and any atum much any atum social housing there obi enim say one secured and two unya nya dia ebo no ewo form papa tiene na ye be focus on ye be focus on sana wobetimi aye one a ombetimi aye na emom waye kra na wo waiting list then I wobetimi aye no move from one band to the other eno no ebema wetimi enya wo dan no entem enti sɛ wonim obi a sɛbio oni baabi te anaa ɔpɛ aban dan ɛka frɛ no council flat anaa housing association ne nyinaa wode bom a yɛfrɛ no social housing ne din a ne sɛ ɛyɛ biribi ɛdan a ne boɔ wɔ fam because rent no yɛhwɛ the income for the area and yɛde asɛte rent ɛnte sɛ yɛva private rental a ɛno no ɛyɛ dictated by supply and demand enti normally no ne boɔ soro ti yɛmfa sɛ ɔfa Tottenham say a na ebia 1 bedroom yɛ 1,200 a month council no obetimi nya na ebia bɛyɛ 600 and 700 a month ɛwɔ fam na kyerɛ sɛ emu da hɔ nti ɛno na yɛ focus on nti obi anya ne questions ready numbers a mobetimi afrɛ no nso yɛ be show in a minute mobetimi afrɛ mepɛ sɛ yɛ boa titiriw ɔmo a genuinely ɔmo ni baabi te ɔmo hia baabi te ebi ɔmo yɛ biribi efrɛ no sofa surfing ɛnɛ wɔ kɔnadamfo yi a ɛkyena no watu obi onyem obi ɔyɛ disabled obi ɔyɛ vulnerable obi asɛbio ebi a domestic violence ne nyinaa yɛbɛka ne nyinaa sɛ na bɛboa obiara na wo a wodi wɔ mu no watumi ayi woni bi koraa na at least wobɛte ase na obi wɔ ehia mmoa a watumi aboa no nti manyɛ mesan atoma
Yo, Uncle Ben, me that's it. Another way, me do man, why half a man, me that's it. Yo, near Tiana say, your social housing, I na dodo na epre crime ben number faso na omwenye binti ene no mesrem eni demo mo amutie nyinara na mo amohwe nyinara mesrem mo mbɔ mode a monche program na dodo na benyanka ombe fall into ade we bi no mo so omonya social housing ne bi ene da boa yedem pa na meda BWF Solicitors asenso pa say for the past few weeks Nioma ebeboa yen community na eno nko a se obetumi atɔ dan sesi ampo cost of living ya aba nyame ya adom a ɔkyena yɛse yen gas and electricity bill no ye betrepo no saa nioma nyinaa no ha society no but then also no there are few ways se wunnim a you know how to live and live happy even though we are in these times. Enti no ebi na BWF Solicitors omatete ya na otwi mu nyina kwan a obefa so a nneoma ekoso no won so uhu behin ha. Enti BWF Solicitors yesa edamase biom. Yo, yabeko yenim nansa na mesa baso ewo topic no mesre dodo na abaso ni nyina nyame nhira mo ye odihye ba nana kwaku meye dede odi de o say good morning Kevin Asamoah say good morning manye any Uncle Ben yeda say na call good morning to you all any k any nioma kosen yewi ama mente onka why Angie Nana Owusu o say good morning Auntie Angie salute pacho anope mi jude say adom no bro so ejewa and ajimai was say good morning Derek Yeboah I say good morning family making kind of the ye no me find so hona ye nya kwan ye digest into the topic that we have today senior beya you be enough time to ask questions na ye nya phone calls na so dodo enti no as time goes on me mbo udi ampacho emane ha mebo bibia mesi na mebo ama wo question bi nso a obetumi de aba se obisa wo Facebook ni so a mekan ama ana se embimpo a opese wo frɛ na onye mo kwan mbia na line na ye little bit engage but modern naja voice note ewo 07596620154 WhatsApp only na ye sha see a me the telephone numbers nso ba betuja enti yenko yenem Uncle Ben yo ye beda asibiom say ye to yensa frɛ wo no wa ba na o de topic wa be kyerɛkyerɛ ye me obi a me fi me kromo Ghana aba me bobo mambrabo ewa ha se ne be ya me hu be hin ha me na metumi ahwɛ me busua ene efiefo nso nyinara na maban mabenya busua mabɛyɛ family na me pese me to dan nansen ye be kyerɛ ye kwan a obefa so obetumi atɔ dan few things a yɛakyerɛkyerɛ ɛnɛ yɛrehwɛ social housing a titiri no a yɛfrɛ no council house anaa council flat ne ɛwɔ yɛ ano bebree. Menya me nkrataa wie yɛnim sɛ ebi sei sɛ wonni nkrataa a wontumi nya social housing, sɛ wonni nkrataa wontumi nya council flat. Yo yɛmfa ne sɛ me nso menya nkrataa mewɔ mba na mepɛ sɛ menyɛ bi. Ɛkwan bɛn na ɔsɛ mefa so a metumi enya, because yɛn nyinaa yɛnim sɛnea dambo ɔden no sɛ wokɔhwɛ na yɛde bɔ wo tirim a w'adwuma sika ɛnso hɔ a wobɛhu no ayɛ basaa. Enti dodoɔ na ebi mo tumi koraa ɛkɔ ɔmo kɔgye private accommodation na ɔmo akyekyɛ ɔmo tumi kyekyɛ to the extent sɛ living room ne koraa ne yɛde ayɛ dan. Wobɛkɔ obi mbia storage room koraa ne a converting into dan, because rooms or accommodation has become very expensive nowadays. Inti no se mbia uwa konya se ubetumi wonso go into the list of the social housing na Uncle Ben Mr. Kwan Ben inti another topic ni say how to make a successful application for a council flat or a social housing. Uncle Ben pacho mesa etuma wadaroma.
Yo, manya first of all no say yakase social housing a dan. So yakase social housing may explain it, but joining intima may explain it. Social housing affordable accommodation either say housing association or not for profit or provide a dime and as a local authority from council no. Omo provide a cheaper, a more secured, a bit more quality, and also a meet needs, a needs led. Ain't so you can social housing. Social housing a dine a buying and a day how through council, and I say a buying a day how through other organizations from housing associations, and I say not for profit housing associations. Housing associations in Ibebre are not for profit. In fact, omunyina are not for profit. A castle be a not for profit. Just say, botaya or the year jumano, and yes, or pe faswe frame nemum or the bois. Tisa two organizations are a provided social housing, a housing association and a council. No, omu a share a buying actual ato housing act nim. And as some BWF no ancillary and as secondary legislation a support to housing act no ama emma ehye se nieme bi ewo wabrabo ma e wo se housing association a council na be refer wo and a council na nkasa no omo ma accommodation. Then na yehwe first of all no meka social housing na yewo permanent housing and temporary accommodation. Permanent accommodation and a temporary accommodation. And to the focus, are most of your community a permanent accommodation and a long-term accommodation. You say temporary accommodation, it be a long term. And because the council no a share obi ahochiremu anase oba within a certain category of people e wo se otimi e mane baby tena no eya no mo de akotena baby e friend of temporary accommodation enti niema ben ne yehwe ye wo 5 factors a yehwe. The first one no e wo se nipa no oye legally homeless. Menka homeless, me say legally homeless. Because homelessness, the definition are both defined by statute and case law. Supreme Court cases and a Court of Appeal cases define dear friend lawful homelessness. May I explain it the entire? Me use the qualification lawful homelessness. 2. I was saying the panel immigration status. Status in be say or you're British and Irish or European and also indefinite leave and also a refugee. Pacho muntieni ye. Obi awo indefinite leave. Oye European national and in a busiafo. Obi a oye Irish. Obi a oye refugee. Now, meka sɛ obi ɔwɔ indefinite but meka European ɛne ɔmo busuafo a ɔmo busuafo ne European no ɛnyɛ ɔmo nyinaa na ɔmo wɔ indefinite obi wɔ limited leave to remain but ɔhwɛ the limited leave to remain na yɛntwerɛ no recourse to public funds yɛhwɛ the definition of public funds social housing ɛka ho ti wowɔ 2.5 years ne yɛatwerɛ no recourse to public funds wo no wontumi ɛnya social housing anaasɛ council flat anaasɛ housing association enti yɛnhyɛ no nso so the third one no ɛne sɛ wowɔ priority need ɔmo wɔ priority need yɛ obi a office domestic violence obi a free care leaver ebia between the ages of 16 and 18 obi a ɔyɛ pregnant obi a ɔyɛ disabled obi a ɔwɔ mental health issues obi a ɔwɔ medical condition obi a ɔfɛsi flood anaa fire ɛwɔ ne fie there are other priority needs a mɛkɔ so aka saa 3 who qualify for 3 year immigration lawful homelessness and immigration status within immigration status no yɛfrɛ biribi yɛfrɛ no habitual residence ɛwɔ sɛ woba UK no wanya at least 2 years wɔ ha so woba UK wanya at least 2 years wɔ ha woyɛ habitually resident enti saa 3 factors yi wonya follow within pɛ ɛwɔ sɛ council accommodate you temporary also accommodate you temporary mashara na mi bubum sa because sometimes na ya yɛnte aseɛ temporary no could be from days to months and sɛ wo face domestic violence na wo fall within the 3 categories council betimi ama a dine immediately it may be a hotel it may be a women's refuge it may be a safe shelter but whatever it is no council ebema accommodation there are other 2 factors ɛwɔ sɛ mede ka ho 1 homelessness no ɛnyɛ intentional enti nyɛ wo na wo cause homelessness no sɛ nyɛ wo na wo cause homelessness na kyerɛ sɛ wo within the 3 factors no wanya 1 factor aka ho enti ɛnyɛ wo fault enti na wo yɛ homeless no the final one no wo connection to the local area what Manchester we move aba Hackney because uni ukun ewo problem domestic violence waba wadamfo e frɛ no yawtano one yawtano nete enti wo ye bibi e frɛ no sofa surfing yawtano amount notice say or accommodate you for only 1 month enti wo the call cancel because you're potentially homeless and the cancel beboa but wo fi Hackney wo fi Manchester one tena Hackney for 6 months until we need local connection. Now these are the things now make no. But so we dream who ya make first 3 factors. Me see I was say aban no amount temporary accommodation. Until all those we need local connection. And now say we homelessness no one our call so yeah. But you follow within the first 3. Lawful homelessness, immigration status, priority need. So we follow within the first 3 now. I was all my dying. Temporary. And America say it could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. Sometimes it could be years. But Court of Appeal I can say omo housing scheme no. Say na omo band na your band 1, band 2, band 3. Ube say move up. Or preference. Say ube choose ube your selection. Once I wire your application no, I was say update your application regularly. I don't know move up. Court of Appeal say council don't mean for temporary accommodation as if so permanent accommodation. So we meet the other 2 in addition to the 3 now. Local connection and a new fall to say we are homeless now. I was say my accommodation. Manyati, the entire matumebo achichemu no say in Crawford bebre or ya ma temporary accommodation. Oma tena ho for so many years you move omo. It may be say we be used court process no ade anya dan no case law kyerɛ sɛ council no entimi enka sɛ okay when meet your needs but you need dan a yɛde bɛma wo ɛnyɛ ade a council no betimi aka sɛ council no ni dan a obetimi ama wo a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔyɛ provision it has be refer ama housing association and also be move every area no I refer to another neighbor neighborhood or housing facilities. And to qualify, no, I will say we meet 5 tests for permanent housing, but for temporary housing, no, I had the first 3.
3. Okay. Wow. Uncle Ben, wait there, essay, wait there. Yeah, that's a senior watch. So, what my atias here, the permanent one and the temporary one. So, for getting, if you want to get the permanent one, and you say, we qualify for all the 5 aspects now, watch it, you know. And for the council to be able to give you the temporary one and your first 3, you must fall within that category. Uncle Bear, yeah, that's it. As time goes on, meaning say more questions will be coming on up. You can say, oh, temporary one. You just the last statement that you've made, temporary accommodation up to years, because some years be about gusu bebre minimum crowphobia or so what temporary accommodation for like 3 years, 4 years. Uncle Ben said, who meet all the 5 categories. Now council no Emma will be who as the residents no dear now say we ye. Senior beya council no be who and I says omore few omenya nkaye say, asemesi see I will meet all the 5 categories until see a move on patch who as the tenant dear now say we ye found.
First of all, no, temporary accommodation, no, send a DNA temporary accommodation. So we have application for housing department, be determined first of all, say 1 will fall within 3 categories now. I was on my assessment. To follow within 3 categories now, council who now we share that you're homeless, so and you now share that. May I explain this concept to you now. So we meet the first 3 now. I mean repeat the first 3 no. First 3 no yeah. 1, we are legally homeless. 2, we are immigration status. And we are habitually resident. 3, we follow within priority need. So we meet the first 3 now, we qualify for temporary accommodation. And American, it could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years. However, so we meet the other 2. 1, and you know we are intentionally homeless. And 2, within your law, say you know we are intentionally homeless, or connection to the local area. I will say about permanent accommodation. So council now temporary accommodation for 3 years. I was so my reason here on to me my permanent accommodation. The usual reason is because omode wato band no won't do band 1 or band 3 and our band 2 because we say we move up. We check your bid now and you bid for the housing stock. And then you pass a tremor, so now we bet me a bid and why successful. No. And the fact that what the application I got to no. Equiatenewa men tunda Miss Row visit your application because it's online. Who sana will progress it. Into why application is 6 months, 1 year. Now we move we are pregnant. Potentially baby I want to know. Because we are pregnant, we are cause overcrowded. But just remember, say we are cause overcrowded. However, baby I want to know within the last couple of weeks, when you're disrepair, when you're fire, when you're flooded, and now say well baby I join a gang, into gang and into ama wone wo banning no mabaya vulnerable people to gang attacks. Within that the priority need is gone up. And yes we are pregnant alone, but flooding aba, disrepair aba, fire aba. And now say we are vulnerable to the extent say gang warfare affected wo ba ene and immediately we priority need in akosoro. And that is why I say the first application, it doesn't stop there. But I will say every time we are updating application. I will say we update. It may be say we have application. Now, Obane Bema, under 10. Within your law, say opposite sex, even some of your family members, no more above 10, I will say enya or more dying. The need for that, and then they say overcrowded. One of the requirements for priority needs is overcrowded. And it is obi a functional overcrowded and as a legally overcrowded under Part 10 of the Housing Act. Immediately, no, the priority need no ekosro. And no, one of the reasons I was a witimi move from either band 3 to band 2 and now band 2 to band 1. Now we are conscious, so we bidding process no, we be updating no every day. And no other be ma when you cancel flat and 10.
Okay. Yo, Uncle Ben, ye da se ne nkyerɛkyerɛ mu na afedie yɛnkɔ yɛkyi kakra nso. You made mention say obi betumi ayɛ legally homeless. Na kyerɛ sɛ obi wɔ hɔ a ɔno a na ɔyɛ ne ho homeless a ɛnyɛ legal na mpatwɛ hɔ no betumi akyɛ deɛn na wobɛyɛ a ɛbɛma bɛyɛ homeless na mmom ɛnyɛ legal for you to be able to qualify as a legally homeless. Mpatwɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛkyerɛ hɔ no kakra de ama yɛ mpatwɛ.
Okay, so first of all, no, see, say obi a legally homeless. First of all, we follow process in here. To qualify as a legally homeless person, one is either you are homeless into uni baby da, and I say uwo baby da. Ya serve either section 21 and section 8 notice. Ain't we are potentially homeless. And I said bailiff aba eba betu. And I said otawadam funche wa mau notice. And I said we a lodger, ye can lodger the other time. Lodger in here so be mau notice, but wa mau what no verbally a catch say to free me fee her. And I said we a sofa surfing. Sa niema ni nyina no, and then I said we are legally homeless. Enti say amount section 121 notice. Na notice period no entwe mo. We are potentially homeless, but we are homeless. But the definition of homelessness, no, legally homeless, no, either the notice period netwem either under 21 or 18, or 8, and I say wako court when your eviction notice. If you go court, crana court evictiwa, say bailiff for ma and may say omu be two everywhere. And I say we obi a woni wukun ana wo yereti upie ba no ye change lock no. Ye change lock no. Technically no wo baby te, but we are legally homeless. Now, the final requirement no to be legally homeless and say we need dying for ewo baby a. Enti sa wote hackney. Na wukun abo. We are pregnant. We are vulnerable. We need baby te. We are potentially homeless or private landlord a two wadamfo akengu wasum se free ho nipa na wo lodge won ho no aka kire se free ho na emom wo 3-bedroom ewo gomoa fancheneko ana se gomoa asebu ana se abeka na wo kopɛ wo ho asɛm na wo ka kire mo se wo 3-bedroom o Ghana na wo te hakne a yɛbɛka kire se kɔtena wo dan na wo Ghana nim wonye legally homeless. The problem is that you will not be entitled to temporary accommodation. No, much more permanent accommodation. Now, I say this, I'm often too hopeful. So, what failure will form now? Wow, we have this application about Chromo Harness and Yamanino. Ah, modern dying, or mansion in Yamano. Or mansion or Ghana, now Baha, now be your homeless, because of mansion or Ghana, no. Either say we back of our mansion aba kromuha and I will be to kromuha akotena our mansion. We yet legally homeless. And you cast legally homelessness and no anametre.
You Uncle Ben. Hey, when the a dainty sack daka anka me de media beko ubi manso. Sanet ye Uncle Ben a mu legally homeless no wa mu. Na eto de bia Uncle Ben. Eto de bia na obi Yamane dying all right. Then somewhere along the line, no, ube na say your rent issue, say your because I know say even if you are facing payment issues, and now you can say we do my sell or crime be so na bibia. Council na aye provisions are on na omo no na say near you still live under the umbrella. Now so be obi wo ho na ye say council na ngasa kra na etunu and ya be ni nyom go abonten. To what extent na obi say ebe go through ade we mo mpacho?
Well, first of all, sir, wouldn't me afford or renter. when you're intentionally homeless. Within the law, no, legally homeless, no, and our intentional homelessness, no, it may be say, oh, ska to me a 2 hour rent, but won't you? Now, rent it no yet rent no kwa. Rent, food, and other things to go with your life. Enti utility bills in sa nneɛma no. Enti sɛ me yɛ adwuma me yɛ forklift driver ɛwɔ Bernard Enterprise. Me pay a month no ɛyɛ 1,500. Me high dan ɛwɔ Tottenham. Flat no ɛyɛ 1,200. Manyeti aka me ahe. Aka 300. Electricity kosoro, gas kosoro. Any water. Mitua eno month ya aka mi sika £50. £50 no minto me duane, minto matare, minto minku, mintua me water, mintua me mobile phone, mintua me TV license. Because of that, one of the reasons mean to me afford those are it's one of the reasons obetimi they apply for council flat because we be potentially homeless because we mean to our rent and yes mean to me because 1,000 to me 1,500 to meet me at year but the other things na ka ho ne meduane a medi no yetete ne nyina free ma mean to me tia enti eno no yetumi free sa dan anymore a menya intentionally homeless me homeless because na mean to me entua affordability test no it determine whether you are intentionally homeless and answer when you're intentionally homeless. They all feed into the fifth factor. And they say, and ya wona wo bo witrim say wo pese we homeless. So ana council, ana housing association I accommodate you. And to say what baby now what to sika nyina na wuntimi ntua. One of the factors are ebetimi e de what to the priority need council. Either temporary accommodation and now we meet the other two requirements now, which is connection and unintentional homelessness now. Permanent accommodation.
Thank you, Uncle Ben. Having mentioned affordability requirements, nature say person will apply for council housing and social housing now. There may be this test, and I say say you fall within that requirement now almost no nature say meye near friend say assessment and Uncle Ben enti say mbia wo no lodge obi ho ana obi A2 ana bibi saa uba beye homeless na obekọ say me ko apply for social housing na se beye saa assessment na Uncle Ben minim say ho no say yeti asie yi assessment no come to play because also mo hu say mbia ubetumi etua na say untumi ntua nti say omo yes assessment no na ye hu say wo aketu a wo gina wo lodge obi ho kra no etumi rent private accommodation and I say when they finish with the assessment na ye hu the outcome of it na say you can afford that Uncle Ben still ubetumi go into social housing as well.
Now affordability enka 5 test nim.
Okay.
The only reason I made the affordability bear when I say so wouldn't me afford a boy or priority need. A mao are potentially homeless because you are potentially destitute. The definition of destitution under the National Assistance Act and includes will be a me afford housing, I know afford housing, but me affording the daily expenses. That is the definition of destitution. First of all, no. So we meet the first 3 tests. We are legally homeless. We know what legally homeless is.
Yes.
2, we are immigration status. Until we get restricted to public funds. Definition of public funds includes council accommodation and housing association accommodation.
Okay.
And the final one, no, we are priority need. Priority need: pregnancy, disability, care leaver. Mental health issues, medical conditions, immediate flood in your accommodation, disrepair, and it's domestic violence. Sanyamani nyina at the priority need. Into we are entitled. Now we are entitled to temporary accommodation. Mashadana me see ahano suyi because our 3 We are law legally homeless. We were immigration status. We were priority need. We were priority need. It includes obi or pregnant, obi or disabled, obi a sebio domestic violence, obi or care leaver, obi or ofi hospital aba, obi or ofi prison aba, obi a discharging from the army. San crofoni nyina no omo ewo priority need. Inti se wo priority need a now when you're connected to the area, maybe ofi Manchester, but they say oh Hackney. Two, one a why are homeless because who is can your renter. A buy no and social housing for no. I was so more accommodative temporary, but permanent accommodation. I was so homelessness no, unintentional. Two, I was so local connection. Local connection, no, this is what the particular local area within the catchment area, no, for at least 6 months. And I will be to me, you define also local connection to the area. To be apply for council accommodation. Now you transfer na come baby almost feel so local connection no. But Court of Appeal, akase. That time now, what the abetna area mo na. Omo bi a wakotena o maame nchen. Wote Birmingham, we move about o maame ho. O maame se bi waka ba bi nti council flat. Council for say 2. Wo se mean 2. Watena mo a omo de wako court na niema 6 months aba. Wotimi a fresh application. Because when you're 6 months into what your connection to the local area, Court of Appeal say, so factor into a way a Croydon case. So factor and say what now 6 months, you know, what your local connection. And that was the only reason here Oma money panel accommodation. Sesia when you say connection, no, we update na application, no, and now I have fresh application. And into no, I was say a man of permanent accommodation.
Asami dem yes yo Uncle Bear that's ye go so aha ye bisa nsem ye beko afi the immigration status but then mema adofo na tiefo nso kwan embia na question bi kire wadwe opese ode ba in terms in ebe a oremfi no enche bia just 5 minutes per me be telephone lines na won so betumi abebisa wasem and it could be say bia nsem a ye ka ho no na owo question na say enye numpo na owo question based on na popo ti still a frɛ ne bisa wasem sɛ wo frɛ na bebia wo no ntumi nkasa wo betumi agya voice note ana so betumi asɛne text message e de aba na ya kenka na Uncle Ben eyiwa no enti no me producer but just 5 minutes now the telephone numbers ne nyina atodwa ama me na etiefo na ahwɛfo enya mo kwan etem ebisa mo question yo Uncle Ben yenko yenim yetumi hu sɛ o ka local connection no na kyerɛ sɛ mehu ebi mu a watena saa locality no for number of years enti na sisi a or apply ye can say social housing no nso no yebema no temporary accommodation no typical one na bi eda menim sisi a no na overcrowded na temporary accommodation na ye pejama no preko ye de ne call housing Uncle Ben ye share distance from Croydon to housing na fe inkwala na involve no almost school because a temporary accommodation almost school ba besisa traveling from Croydon to housing just on a temporary accommodation tino udi akwala no betu kwaniaba mbia wo pese obesisen school a Uncle Ben eba ni sa na fall into such category bibi wo ho a wo betumi aye a council no be ka se da bi or say ye pe locality hona na emfa mount temporary na say council ni baabia nti na motu akoto trema nkosa na mpacho.
Well, council no main duty and it's on accommodation. Within sa example ya wame, there will be a bit of travel, but and yet dire and from Croydon to okay.
Housing.
According to housing, maybe your best is a train, maybe your BD or trains be 1 hour, a reasonable provision of accommodation, because omuni stock, no, omo neighbor was stock, and omo they will call omo neighbor, and they take the children's education into consideration. But who be a fee, Canning Town, Newham, I then I call Basildon, and I say Romford. Or share a bit of distance room, but wobɛtumi ayɛ either bus journey or train journey. Those are factors of the com. Ɛnyɛ unreasonable. Ɛnyɛ unreasonable.
Okay, internet just say no deɛ wontumi nyɛ ho hwee.
Absolutely.
Yeah, na hard drill. Yo, young queen, it's here for me. Be a telephone lines not to whilst I'm still asking Uncle Ben some few questions based on what we are discussing today. Telephone lines that you can also call to ask your question, any question at all based on or concerning immigrations, your migration issues, family law, mitigation and litigations, or even Ghanaian law, you are welcome to ask the question. Uncle Ben is here to answer you. The telephone numbers that we are using is the same 0208 123 1016 or 073-9920-8468. It's on the screen. So if I'm mentioning it as faster as I can, you can still see it on the screen and then you call. Also, if you want to leave a voice note, go to the WhatsApp number on 075 9662015 for leave a voice note. I'll play for Uncle Ben to answer you as well. Mama ba when so nyina me mo bibia akwaba madam asina mon keep on sharing nana ajimai ye chiao Derek ye boss good morning family mami efua hi family greetings to all staff of BWF Solicitors mami efua me so meje super and all the members on the platform. Nice to see you all again. Solomon Solowise King Sefa Snipes. Hey, we did the Solowise. It's a nice name. I say good morning. Oh, Sandra, yeah, Papa B, and Secretary Papa B. Mpacho, Sandra, yes, yeah, Joe. So say good morning, beautiful man, yeah, Joe. So yeah, body, you can say BWF Solicitors or contact information nyinaa aba abɛgu so nti wohwehwɛ BWF Solicitors a sɛnea yɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu mbia na wante biribiara still a wopɛ nkyerɛmu yie a you can book an appointment na bɛhu BWF Solicitors wɔn aso ɛyɛ ɔmo na ɔbɛgo through na biribi a ɔbɛtumi ayɛ afa ho de aboa wo na ɔmmɛyɛ na kyerɛ sɛ obiara akɔ n'anim kɛseɛ contact wei no nyinaa ɛgu hɔnom ɛyɛ immigration for further assistance no. Obetumi afrɛ lawyer Richie the number wɔ hɔ obetumi afrɛ lawyer Eunice obetumi afrɛ lawyer Charles obetumi afrɛ office line mpo na bookie appointment emergency number no nso ɛwɔ hɔ nom in case na baby a wogyina no ahokyerɛ abɛyi a obetumi afrɛ no nso na obenya mmoayɛ na yɛagye wo so na kyerɛ sɛ yɛama wo ho ahinha wo baby a wowɔ no nti bɔ mmɔden na contact ɔmo yɛ adwuma Monday to Friday Saturdays deɛ ɛyɛ a na ɛyɛ on special appointment na book na umako hunti gifty a charm in team in Joe so say good morning Ekuadi good morning Charles or say Amofa good morning Uncle Ben for a wonderful job yes so Joe so nana aso akwabua Joe so gifty a charm in team please like and share gifty the two when him say portion or now like now share na nko yenim ye pese hu say dodo na share because bebre na was a issue mbia wapre nyame ayɛ wadom abɛnya indefinite leave to live adan na oda so etua sika kɛseɛ ɛma private you can say housing nti sɛ akwanya wɔ hɔ sɛ you can also apply to get a council flat and a council accommodation as a social housing why not take this opportunity even you can go back listen to it carefully sɛ ne Uncle Ben ato ne bo ase akyerɛkyerɛ mu no who follows in your all can go there straight away. Go to the council who call accommodation department and I say call assessment be on no or make me aye na fe so why apply even posisi ani online. You don't need to go to the office anymore. Go to online borrow now or no go to questionnaire or no follow what feeling in so pe obuafo the lawyers are there, they can support you. Ma nkwa onchichire wo ho ne saa de we na ombre until you can go on and do that. The lawyers are there to support you. And from say the person may apply for housing minim kwan a mefa so a meye lawyers misrem betumi aboa me kwan bi so ana akonya e wo ho no yo enti compato wa wo frɛ ya wo na mane katia wo betumi asan afrɛ biom na yekoye nim Uncle Ben sɛ ye twa etiefo na ahwɛfo ne omo course no yenhwɛ o can say ti say o indefinite any you made mention of a EU nationals na omo you can say dependent na ade but Omo no because of limited leave to remain omo ntumi enye den apply enti mbia me wo yiyu me kita me ni yiyu panin na nkasa na me ho kafo na me ono wo limited a ayembia se ye mienu ye betumi apply ye mienu di mana se me a me ye menya me wo indefinite me nko a na se me ye sa application na anto be
Our lawful residents be any limited to recourse to public funds. Ubetimi apply so housing needs in Kwandia. More EUSS. As far as me are concerned, say limited leave to remain and pre-settled status. And yes, subject to public funds. And so housing needs. And what we've realized is that so we EU need ebusiani na akoya application yes we are dependent on the EU national until no way other now no application no I don't know what the real no but apart from that there so we betimi am good reasons maybe a domestic violence and as EU ni kra ka baby until ni ho as a point of reference now we betimi aye na omode housing amount just so that obiati ase no yeah, what temporary accommodation and yeah, what permanent accommodation. Mashada na made a lot of emphasis on temporary accommodation because almost obia or what housing need biya no qualify for temporary accommodation. Almost obia or what housing need. Ain't housing needs no. So you count three factors now. One, we are lawfully homeless. Now obia untimintia renting so. We are potentially homeless. Not because what should I wuntia, but wuntimintia. Maybe our income is 1,005, accommodation also 1,002. What the gas bill no water and then name it 3 more. I count £100. £100 and nyadi ebeson. Ebi krana wa baba ko na mami no ka ho. And nyadi ebeson. That is one of the factors. A man we are homeless. Enti enya obi a ona ote or that's Tesco shops and now that traffic light I say and now that school them but obia or be homeless and obia has served a notice under section 21 and under section 8 sometimes in the council no be say my landlord no fa won court answer a your choice because it was schemes and requirements but the law is one law no both the statute law under the housing act and Supreme Court decisions about council's responsibility to rehouse. No, I am so dire. Says a council no a committee error. Now, the omo judicial review application against omo. Obi ye betimi fine council no. Inti idea I was a council no. Omu need dani bi kra wo area mo ho a. I was omo pe baby. Usually no we a single person. Yetimi to ko baby no ho a. Aya Nkrofo feels almost frustrate you. It may be almost frustrate you. But so we a single person now. Ubetimi a single and priority need because of mental health issues, physical disability, medical issues, domestic violence, and any of the other factors makano. So follow within any of those approach council no na your application. Omo duty, some be your assessment. So almost some farm mawa. Ubetimi a for legal aid na we sue omo for judicial review. Are possible so ubetimi ayesa.
Wow. Okay, Uncle Ben that's it. Odo for wa homa so kafra se we gina so ache. Nti ase no Uncle Ben cheche musa na so to bo ase na uti na hu ne yi. But your friend say o kasa free my ento nka. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Ona patrol me.
Pacho yeto nka kasa ba page your voice kakra why?
Yo me to buy to say.
Noise wo bus ni mo pa.
I those players are going to live in a more fighting. I'm trying to say making that housing council house.
O question na yenti o page your voice kakra na on twen na on si free bus mo na on san frɛ. Why? Yenti hwe. Okay, did I say? Yeah, order for one maso kafra pacha o kase free me yenti wonka.
Oh, hello, good morning, my Uncle Ben.
Good morning.
me free talk na ya.
Okay.
Me issue ni me wife na me no fie na aware na mute.
Okay.
No you ni bi ba wa na de ba. But oba no de me man so ba. And I mean no me the visit me my bam my business all together. Me the visit na buy.
Okay.
Na person me who say I'm say last time na uncle Ben ka say no that na meet me apply. Na person who say my back room as a visitor meet me I apply no na say change me coffee because me you need me man ba. How oni be ma for na like omutie. And I mean, they visit and I mean, ba, in the same. So I can't do a bit me, I know, I'm not so simple.
Sir, who per se way then? Who dear, I would not groom her.
Mijina me manoso do mene obane yentemwati wonde wakware nti me mano omo bane ya ma omo ye mo 6 months mo ndi real and o ma me akwaje 5 years no
okay yo yati ase Uncle Ben ma why Uncle Ben pacho.
Well, I mean, first of all, though, opposite original ne family life with ne muscle. The son of my law, no, your free be immigration status requirement. So, what visitors visa I went to me yet. I just said, my visitors visa no, and so visa no be within the 6 months are fine. And this idea, I just said what to have for 6 months. Now visa no, and so I wait to me as application. But the other thing I was always mindful is, I was always qualified children. Qualified children, yeah, will be our one definite stay. Will be our EU family member into our limited leave. In this case, only EU family members into a more limited stay. Will be our refugee, will be our British, and also be our 7 years. So meet any of the requirements will be to me. But unfortunately, all visitors visa went to me. I just saw training once and I went to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what say?
Yeah,
that's it. Yes, that's it. Okay. Yo, other for one, my son, Pacha Frost and now Casa Fremiantonka.
Pacha BDNS. Maneti, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, really, my question here a bit complicated, but my cousin and application based on the British child.
Okay.
But application not on meet requirement, which is the 2 years on the partner no partner, or your unmarried partner. But almost assessment, almost demand partner route, almost granting a partner route. Until after almost granting no card so any or switch out for 5 years. We meet English language and also meet financial requirements. Or switching home office say or meet cohabitation with the partner for 2 years. That basis is so not only but almost granting a partner route instead of a child. In this case, in home office actually.
Hello? Oh. Yeah. Any way an article, any pacho, ube to me as a free abba. I can be with the way I
Okay.
Yeah. Other for one, my son pacho casane into it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pacho, name you
Okay.
No, via assessment. With the and the program is a non for organ.
Okay.
And some percent maybe almost bar. If she has me more than 18,000 and I just mean a Juma, maybe I'm making about 1,200. Actually, the me see the me Juma means 1,300. If you make me an application, no more than
Yo, Uncle Ben, you why?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, sir, we EU now the webusi about financial requirements and sir and Colano, hopefully no more under 21. No more over 21 now we shall born. That should be sufficient. To income no doesn't really play any part. When immigration law application, we are British and I want definitely leave okofa umaba we purely under appendix EUSS nti no income play part say o money under 21 we over 21 there now we show more now we means I would be show more that should be sufficient.
Yo, Papa, that's why.
Okay, that's next me that.
Ope say ye ma onso a ene ye ntem na book your appointment ye betimi aye application na ma ofefefe na omo nyina wonsa abeka omo wa hanom why yo order for wa homa so mpacho efre o say na wo kasa frɛ em say me wi we na me mbo me voice note kakra mpacho ma ye ntem ka
That's pa. The patron person busan ka ben say my exam brand na more 5 years. And I'm because I met me at a council house Libya now. They are entitled for it and I'm patcho.
Yeah, more no recourse to public funds.
The patcho BBN so.
Yo, Uncle Ben, patcho ya mami ono so betimi a qualify.
Eligible for it.
What's that?
Mami a we bisa question. Na me bisa ne say what year program no first 3 na Uncle Ben dey too so no. Do you don't see yourself under these conditions?
In fact, then I'm because of Zambrano, almost say, won't me benefits. I'm because I met me at the council house and it may cost me yet, but me pedal me yabbing to not because I can make me up for more for the Diana.
Unfortunately, no, Zambrano for no, you're from persons from abroad, and Muntime and the benefit almost share that amended law, no, and we are restricted so by the benefit. Why? Adano can benefits definition of public funds include social housing, council, and a housing association.
Okay, yeah,
that's okay. Yes, that's Yo, yen pacho wa also jina so 1 second mami wa pacho na yen hwe ya dofo nso a omo wa ha ne kakra say message bi aba na menkan na omo nso mo nye bi nyesa na yesisi omo yo yenua ba ode ye friend saying nana oberima obrempon ansa no bisa say please my question is what about those who work with agency and find it difficult to rent because some of the rental agencies and or estate agents only want people with permanent jobs and their landlords want them to move because he's selling his or her own house. Please, is it possible to go to the council and ask them or tell them about your solution or your situation for them to support you since it's in the council responsibility to rehouse anyone who is going to be homeless for unintentional purpose? Yo, Uncle Ben be you why what me esia no paper.
Yes. Well, I mean, first of all, no, sir, estate agent, sir, we need permanent residence. Ain't or Maudaya? Yeah, yes, I did that. Meboa.
Yes.
Magneti there. I had discrimination for immigration purposes.
Yes.
I had discrimination.
Discrimination.
Absolutely. Until also picking on. 2. Sir, Obi, our dying na if you run say or tonwa is one of the reasons or they be homeless. One of the reasons I'll bet me the cancel. But just going to cancel, no. One say factors na me mind, no. Mama bako. For temporary accommodation, me ma 3. For permanent accommodation, me ma 5. And the first we are homeless, no. And say we are priority need. Right? And we are homeless. We are single man. Oh, I didn't say me. Sabi who is car between the alcohol high down for floor. Or landlord will turn down. Magneti, or share priority needs na me kind. Send people can home.
On count.
There be. Because and yes, we are homeless pet. And that's I didn't idea and forget it. For temporary accommodation, no homelessness, priority need, and then what? Immigration status.
Immigration status.
Yeah. With immigration status, you know, habitual residence, which is what in the UK for 2 years. Okay?
Yes.
For permanent residence and accommodation, no. In addition, no, homelessness, na nyawo na woko so it.
Yes.
And
So
then
it's
finally,
not.
no, local connection. But local
That's it.
connection and then nyawo na woko so it, no, is only to help you get permanent accommodation.
Okay.
Ti say wo na woko so homelessness na, ebi a wo noise pollution, wunti your rent, nenem, and you too free for still no, we are homeless, legally homeless.
Homeless. So you can get temporary
accommodation.
Okay.
Because so bia tias, ya tias yes na. You be hu say na you be play system no a be boy ama nkrofo etimi anya asetena ne bi.
Sir. Yo. Me jide say we nya ne mo aye. Anike o question no enya ni eye nana obrimpon de oberema nti yen hwe ne eto aso no mpacho wo a wogina so ma me 1 minute why Anita eja poma Japan or say how long will you stay before you can apply? Okay, how long will you stay now? Mpacho o cheche mo kakra ma ya anke be de pa anke Ben or say how long will you stay before you can apply? But before say question here still questionable.
Okay, metena say minim de nti obisa. Yeah, I am niece nti minim ni circumstance. First of all, one, I was so habitually residents. I Japan I only habitually resident because I went to UK 2 years. Okay. Two, I was so priority need. I Japan I only priority need. Ebi a uku no manoba and I'll be a priority need. Minim say baby out, you know, there are issues with it, so that I understand. But unfortunately, no, because went to UK 2 years and I win your priority need, no. Because when you're pregnant, facing domestic violence, mental health issues, physical issues, health issues, flooding, fire, and any of the other stated reasons, I remember why priority needs now. Now, to me, even temporary accommodation. And you become priority needs facing domestic violence. Maybe a ukunwabo, and our area bo, and then you meet the other two requirements, you know. Because domestic violence are called women's refuge. Bear in mind, women's refuge itself, you know, a mao a year ubi our priority needs. And to cancel no or women's refuge. Now a house for a temporary period. Ubetimi a shift or cancel. That is one of the reasons. Ubetimi if you want accommodation straight to another accommodation. Tiningi within the law. But this is what I say to people. Or apply for counselor. Check in your miensa. Or stay. 1. 2. Wo ye be 2, ye 2. And now what to Adam for chain or si ho. And now we a lodger or si free ho.
Sir.
Ye be 2, ni en 2. Council between I guess ye 2 into me mouth dying. I just said, landlord and I'm section 21 notice and I section 8. Omo no to beka se no ma no fa nko court. Odo go court beka se no. Yeah, the judge ni seko. Ba men ko tena ha se. Ma bail for embassy san law kan answer. Answer na wa ba ha na ma odan. Now, possible so betimi ayesa. But you know, usually no. Your ma notice na notice period ni twam a. Wa be legally homeless. Until say council no start to show. It may be say by the time we be assessment no na proceedings abem. Minim the entire sometimes cancel instances and found court answer. Because court cost no so betua. And that is one of the arguments of it me I am a court and say no, I won't hear some court. Because I don't know say you had to make a court now you book thousands and thousands of pounds so. Why do you want to do that? And ubetime use and no at the argument say cancel the decision no Wednesday unreasonable and unreasonable into by a judicial review. Cancel no alive to all the court decisions. Especially Croydon Council. And Crawford court pa. And enim say obetimi the omako court. To usually no so lawyer na very good at. Now we need letter ema in addition to the application na eboa ema application is successful.
Okay, Uncle Ben, I raise a few questions, but I'm saying, Mama, Odofona Mama Nejina Swatch, Mema no hope I know Visa Nedians. I'm patcho, yet you, Minia Bema, wow, man. So your friend was a Yantonka.
Pacho, good morning, Manye. Good morning, Uncle.
Good morning.
Me Pacho, your friend Ella.
Okay.
Me wa question you know. Me say Uncle me honorable platform bit me abuamia. Did can ye ejumam? I know say any related to the program.
Enya she, koso.
My pressure kakra aba nipa no so.
Okay.
Yeah, man, no son. I think 2 years back, yeah, man, sign said ejumam. Uncle sickly or like on yare or a daughter want me any beam. But we should bear in mind so nipano or a single parent with it and no higher juma. And sometimes so no one catakra na yarea abofra maybe into me yare school to me fresh school to me lock it down and when united to me affecting a month in Kwajuma, which Najuma for a away.
Okay.
Just recently, almost said nearby area ambulance at the final call hospital and of free edumam. Nana on any college in a woho into a free edumam. When to me, I'm follow the normal procedure woho. So better on call and answer the deputy manager and send if you're thinking say obi woho. As I say, allegation my dear bonnie say or abandoned shift. And you know. She was called for investigation and on the decision about say call absent or call sick can I say 1 bedroom bedroom
okay.
One maybe say in her distress now no wa panic and you know yes say uncle date me abuana I'm not true never that same person never unit. Obey this year or the application figure and buy or the year the master's obey this year. And also let's say assign about that whole number say 5 days earlier than expected in finishing time. And you know school the letter come at home office before say we than expected into so and in Krata, there was the book man after 6 days at Omunchaso.
Oh,
we ma in fact, woman, assigning a many be a man, no just to because what Tobaha. Yes, Uncle Ben did to me, Abwa.
Yo, me ma kasa bebre. Say eno ane question ye nhwe ne Uncle Ben betimi aka fa why na ye mom so kafra. Why to de bia e ba ne se a no many bi o se ubisa ansa na watu anamo se ne be ya ento wo kwan so yo Uncle Ben pacho ye nua bai na asem arehosem kakra no pacho de betimi aka fa.
Well, I mean, first of all, Ohima Mema Okose, I mean, you know, be a war, aware say akolano to me yare anytime, and a yare and so the eba and more cocoa, and I also to me yare. Within your employment laws, both statutory and a contractual, no, obia ewo protection, say o yare will be taking paid time off. Paid time off. And to make nima mienu, me say statutory and contractual. Statutory no, uni employment contractual, your employment statutory law, bo be a buy. And within one employment statement of terms and our contract and so, and also no, you cover for sick absence. But the other thing I also be a business no, omudino sanete no, omo your business. And the business ain't me and koso and employ be or take long absences off. Both employment tribunal and a court of appeal, ama decisions are a long absence no is grounds for dismissal. Long absence. And regular absences and so are grounds for dismissal. Okay? That's what it is. Because business, you know, it has to run the business. But your fair and reasonable steps I was employer taking. It may be so or foul part-time work. But bibiano and sana you better take disciplinary action against you for long sickness absence and long absences. to say you near bay maybe offer sickness absence and offer absence because of nebana. Omo no be kasa te say no omo no wakasa no. Ya be ma assign say omo no wakasa ma explain ya ma say it may lead to dismissal and it can lead to dismissal. Regular absences, either with permission or without permission, it doesn't matter. So a regular absence, not just a won't mean carry out contractual part of the agreement, and then it becomes a problem. But a processor, I will say a fair, a mal warning, a bisa the intia won't mean made you manage any mano, almost has an bit me a wow, if we be returning to work interview, nina or wha, I was so yeah, more yes, our discussion on a bois, a very helpful. The second part, oba as a student, obi oba as a student biana, and unti amao as a tenano. Oh, a share our omodi amao then she share. Say, we na was a would so. 1 year we are, ye be revoke was a tena. Student school no, a share, say bibi koso na nya, or me bo home office man. To omo issue cars na CAS na almost I was say so school kono and so many and na time I would be school no e bi abeka ho a e betimi ama omo report but say yen revoke was setena na obetimi aswitch akọ skilled migrant program obi aframe on those things because from so omo obi no employ omo now omo switch na when lose na setena no sadly that is what it is. Or say 5 days, I say 5 days and I better the term no so. Minim the buy into 5 days I better so I want to know more. Tiechire ye no be fra obetimi afra ne ne din komo.
Yo, Uncle Ben, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Mommy, and no say, send Uncle Ben a mono, more prefer that way. I know my office or no we book your appointment now or the assembly mama. Why? Okay, my main fan to swear na yen share. Yeah, well, few questions. It be so idea, but answer na me can near what can to shift to the skilled migrant visa no. Obi so edibe tu menim na edwuma or onya course edibe edwuma na em say edwuma no a oye no anso omani. Enti no omo say omo yinedi o se den omo community ne contract no enti omo aye or the call appeal tribunal whatever omo when to me win the case no enti no crofo ne say omo terminate ne contract no na obeti every home office she will hear from the home office na ono onim say yama no sa statement no na che say owo mreti awe bi to do something about it. Enti ono de ni timu nyina say 3 years na idi kan ma no 3 years ni still or 3 years visa to betu na msi there bi o entwen krampo na wonte free home office for ano ansa na wetu ho anamo na this is the time also utu ho anamo enti me sem bisa e wo ho ne say ayembia say home office for so atro no say sisi a onko because oni contract bi ma nka ben oho no wenya sa notification na letter from the home office still obetumi e shifted to skill migrant na say wabeye illegal patcho.
Okay, the first process I was say home office letter and how many days no more no. Ko ye betwa wo residency my amount time both under student visa and a skilled migrant. I'm amount time. Usually I'm amount maybe 30 days but usually it's 60 days. Within that time, no, I was with me a stretch baby. The fact that will be empel way Juma doesn't mean say will be for intimate far Juma, will be for me to me afar. But I was so check and a card and a valid. And to do that, and call online, I also prove my right to work. Or take the third one now, what do date of birth shema? So still a valid will be who I was so. And maybe at your time, I bet you will be asking a year. Prove my right to work. Other if we can go there, we'll try and see what we can do. Yeah. Until we prove my right to work. What the biometric reference number ni shema. Na now we do date of birth shema. Ebe aba na well so why don't you valid and I ain't valid.
Okay. Internet say anya valid na or so kono.
Yes, no so absolutely yeah.
Ebe ko odo for one maso pato e fro se me ente nka.
Good morning. Me pache ya femina na kwaku.
Good
Me pache my
morning.
question. Yeah, me pache my question ma Uncle Bernie say eye EU family permit no and me uncle eye bi ma me nana ya man visa no da was say ye ko fa ne ba. But me uncle call Ghana say ko be fa akra na be me application mu bisa say why na be akra na be ba. And ye ka say me uncle na na be ne be ba. That time mu hono ko Ghana eko train for some months omo make a decision in the Obano or sign sending the visa next now some days but still o make a decision to be do London no and o make a decision omo the university na ma kra but me uncle no so anyini kakra nti o so ntimi nkopio nti o soma obi say onko fa akra ne mbra omo say visa no ya so say family to EE family member or say accompany or much ACCB instead of joining family member no mind ACC in airport no Ghana airport o mama afrano amba enrem say because ACC no express just a papa na nkasa wo yes. And I maybe say Uncle Ben say he say this me anything because Papa no soprano it's own as why America.
Okay. Uncle Ben.
The first thing is we your application you be say one na the beba unim say untimi nkwa memfa wudi nhye ho. That is the first thing. Because obi a all baby so ya kola ubetimi atua na airline no de naba. Okay? To fill your application form you know, you bisa say obi be accompany wo na one na de obeba mesro memfa ne din hye ho so wonim so ntimi nkwa we explanation out there amaye minim de ntia papa no call Ghana wa bra yemfa visa no ma akola no enti ontimi blame obi say mama betena Ghana mamfa visa na mama for me you know education we your application and for be who pray omo because mama o make akofa na ba na also oba akofa na pa near the ashes say accompanied by your throw din ashe ho normally no service how much accompanied by Ghana immigration omo ma onko airline no be check you in because omo no once omo hu visa omo you okay but Ghana immigration no and you know why I had to prevent child trafficking.
Okay.
It's to prevent child trafficking. Omo ya chro accompanied by any nyina omo ye under 18. Omo nyina under 18. To we our application e bisa say one de be ba also be am member. Na fill application no. Na wa oba ya kola utua airline na ombetimi de na ba.
Okay. You Uncle Ben da say yentie we nso na memfa ne ogina so no.
Good morning, Manyati. Good morning, Uncle Ben. The question the Bewa Kakra. Uncle Ben, Pacho, my illegal pain. And at 2012, me worry British citizen from Ghana, Ebai. And me Ija worry 2015. And at 2018, me sa worry bill. Me worry Opahofro. Now from 2012, my year Juma to 2019. Mijaya Juma Koye Limited, Koye self-employed limited company from 2019 to 2021 October. And then no. We want to say government HR limited company, and then move to umbrella. But from October last year, not yet. More pay slip didn't go up to date. Now they say no, 10 years the best one next month. I be saying supporting documents are me here, and now absent from the UK no. Dates in November, I start here free. So from 2012, now I'm buying, and I say 5 or 3 years back. Yeah, I'm starting from. Okay. That's it.
You, Uncle Ben, you know about the question or no?
It's from UK. Ghana for you very lucky. Until free hako Ghana, obi an stampo, mu free hanso kwa. High stampo kodu Ghana so be an stampo. It's your honor ya any problem. I mean, I know say Home Office 40 or because Mr. Owusu, I don't know what you're more than but it's what it is. And so we have application now. What days are watching? It's up to you. Days are watching. But as I always say, you know, omo pesa wo ka no kro enti any problem so wo ye wo 10 years residence na bear in mind say almost a law no kakra enti depending on reason tia or the year 10 years no so why you illegal that now your nationality that's totally different I think say crachi in nationality as some no can the nationality no first of all no so wo ye a wow na wugina I was watching her lawfully for 5 years and unya indefinite 1 year but within the 5 years any particular year ni say watching outside for more than 90 days and for 5 years 90 by 5 450 days but yitimi ma exemption up to 990 days utimi etina outside but yeah calculation na American yen stamp passport to one out the date in show data o call obi anim data o call data o bad you mbehu but data o call obi anim but an American also can cry but ayawa wasema
yo no other for wow so we the only last caller na one me question any ke question me hu but me bo modern say me kind it na ma why na yemre no ko other for wow so patcho me yente wonka
yo uncle Ben no fan minga boy manyeti minga
one hearable no
one hello no
yo uncle Ben no fan your question be bio o answer question here previous person I mean to massive clarification o fan 2013 I'm having 2.5 based on family life with in being ni fit 2.5 fed na ni switch it to spouse visa or marriage partner ni for 5 years you know it was last year 2020 I'm having indefinite o father maybe ni manima apply for naturalization proud to be abame wolo and time be wolo ya mane o fan maybe the manima apply for naturalization I'm get 10 years ban code
yeah ni ona offers 2.5 years man afie nya neighbor ho bia ne
ni na first 2.5 bia ne 8 years 9 years neighbor
9 years ni no ba ma na mi mini wolo okeba
financial visitors visa neighbor she must come feel before now.
Okay. Well, you know, the requirement, I guess, I know he be at 10 years, it's there. Ewo ke oye 8.5, make ba ke me kone afiye ko make a fan abafitahe kono nyofe ono.
Ofani need first application ya he home office be them for a year and a half.
Okay, now what fear when it be pragmatically. First of all, I pay 1,300 plus. O yeah indefinite. Ubanyo ya Ghana, ubanyo ba, ubanyo ya Efiano Sumo, ubanyo chuni. No ya fe legal argument na kehabo. Ko fe ni imomi ushika eta. Come 1.5 years ubana. Na kan watchon woni. E wo bo ba fe na kan decision acceptable. Otono o ya fe argument ake ni o fe o application o ko he ba chon ameni e acha ya amede. What fe na kan argument down. Okay wini. But okay wini for residency, not for British citizenship. It was just favor very careful because o no fiano just like o tower o drive ni Ford Cortina o turn drive Mercedes Benz. Okay, o me feel o use Ford Cortina for another 1.5 years. She born na you ko ye kona ko no turn okay Mercedes Benz I show o turn fe. Ko fe na ke ha bo o problem ni. No ele bo san ni.
Oh, she got that. Yo, watching. Yeah, chair banche. Oh no. I'm a chair ban. Oh, pay once. Donald Leshkumi. 1,500. If I shika fa. Oh no. You are done. For say me fa call beer na 1 minute pay me fan kind any K. Ese na wa trauma me no na Uncle Ben ya no nti Daniela any Nana Overi mamo de no. Me de ma ye nua be ma orepu nyame adom ochina why na ye nkɔ yenim and the case see Amma and her son are currently living with her sister sorry Minsha I say Amma and her son are currently living with her sister Ifua in the 2-bedroom flat social housing. Ifua has a newborn daughter and has asked her sister to get a place on her own since her partner is moving in soon. Ama is a full-time worker, but with her currently situation with her child, with her child care, she cannot afford a place on her own, though the child's father helps. Ama, being a British, can apply for a social housing with the explanation and knowledge given to us now. Give to us now. Uncle Ben, but on the question, no.
Yes, nti ama or legally homeless because your man notice say own free her. She doesn't need notice, but she's been told. 2, our back into our priority needs. 3, or you're British into our immigration status or qualify for temporary accommodation. The next 2, or no cause any homelessness, nana, there be. 3, 5, or yeah, our local connection, I don't know. So we'll look what now of 6 months, then she will qualify for permanent resident. But yes, or qualify for temporary accommodation.
Okay.
And this is what we like. This breaks down the law, no? And that's it. Yeah.
Simple as that, Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
The say Mrena so na Daniela mapamocho misre mo na me the question bema yenua bema kwaku ewo the community and the law ne so na we bisa amama why nti mo make a date with him na mo tie no so mo benya mo moae no ewo ho nyame nhira ye nyina. Uncle Ben ye ba be sorry na so na yenim say na ya beka how to get social housing and I say council flat no process I only go through no so obi tenase na osan tie program yi bioma by all means obetumi say ofole say o qualify nko a obetumi aye na application ma na successful yeda say na ye ba be sorry yenim say nneoma ekokọ so nneoma bebre news mo ayem bia bibi kakra o de be cheye ansa na asori ana say update bi e wo system ne mo a ya tete say October nneoma bi be chese from boni bi bobo ayem bia bibi wo ho a o pese ye hu before ye kwa ye hu anamo a ye betu anampacho.
Maybe potting be anyhow apart from the fact that energy support no eba into wo rent you be die no see energy cost from a China 1st of October be cost catch and say aban maniska aban a stop say be cost into no wo. Our government here can some pay immigration more immigration, which is good news. By next week, you be who baby or mother for the updates the beba. But by and large, you know, obia war assettle bia or UK. So who here a dia kuhu cancel or problem a friend near more. That is all I would say at this stage. Yeah, the money so.
Yes, ye das. It's here for na for say me kan say answer na ye di dwumedi bebe wi ye no benya o chefa ewo. Nyame nhira obi biara otie yen. Na me sa bom nkai biom £50 note any £20 note say oh dada na bia me sra bebia o bia no bomoden na fa ko bank especially yenim say ye nuanom bi wo ho a omo ni bank account nti oje ne sika cash na no de ato ne so ni ase. Unim obi a sisa saa sika no nyinaa kɔma obi a ɔno wɔ bank account na ondi ho dwuma ma ɛnyɛ saa sika no ɛbɛhye kwa ɛbɛhye ɛbɛyɛ awerɛhosɛm nti mo nyinaa mo sɛmpa yo mo a mentumi nso ɛnkan mo message mo mfa nkyɛ mo ma mo nkasa ma nyɛte wopɛ saa dodo ɛnyɛ mia yɛde mmerɛ na ɛyɛ adwuma nti mmerɛ no so deɛ a na mentumi ɛnkan na mmom mede bɛma yɛ nua bɛma ɔreku no akenkan ɛwɔ ɔkyena the community and the law eba so from 4 to 6 p.m. Afen so BWF Solicitors mo nyina mo nim 30 years a ya koye nim che say 30 years ye wa ba nana ye wo nana council a che say ye wo ni nyina bi na che say ya bi ni yie e wo legal matters mo enti se wo hwehwe ye kira kwan a bomodin abra Anna House e wo 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road ne so e wo 7 Sisters o postcode na ye N154NP bomodian na ye telephone number nso ehu hia yie gi sa telephone number na wotumi afrɛ ye book appointment nsɛm a ya kan ne no o pese ye boa wo na wo so yes application na ye betumi akyerɛ wo kwano ne aboa wo na wa yes application ama na ye successful nti bra na me frɛ na me 0208 493 7340 Sa me bob subium 0208-493-7340. Bomodiana fasa na mano. O emergency bia fre 077-1276-1884. Na fawasem ebeswe ye na yenso yebetumi aboa o. Nyame nka ye ho, nyame nhyira ye. Have a very beautiful weekend. Nyankopon ya admo tena 1st October, another month comes with another blessing. Nyame nka ye ho. Na se ne yebesan ehye bio. Bye bye.
Yɛyɛ fɛ ma yɛwɔ London. Yɛagye abasobɔdeɛ bebree na yɛaredare ɛwɔ mmaransɛm mu. Ɛyɛ legal services bi te sɛ family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wɔ BWF deɛ, yɛn solicitors ɛde anigyeɛ ɛna twitwa gye woɔ na yɛboɔ nso nyɛ den koraa. Yɛn partner panin paa, Bennard Owusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care, eye abofrahwe mu, awaregya ye ho twuma mentwe. Ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a, ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na yie adwuma nso. Yen child care, any family team no nim nia wo famu ewe ni ye wo brei mu. Enunti ne yeto yembo asema wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a unni haw kra. Upe advice ewo immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF Solicitors deɛ ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho nsɛmsɛm kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas ni appeals. Ye senior partner eye member na wasan gina tum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se ye taiwachi a wunni haw kra. Ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa nonkron pe mu ekosi enumre nonsia eye 9:30 a.m. kosi 6 p.m. Ena memene danso eye appointment nkoa free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 a.m. kosi 4 p.m. Yewo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground nso a eye kwantie bi. Yen senior partner Bennard Owusu san ye barrister ya gina tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo ewo court cases ya efa Ghana law ho. Wa advise local authorities, official solicitors office ni solicitors bebree efa Ghanaian law ho yi na osan yo bia otai kasa ewo radio any TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.